It's time to blast off inside the kennel. And now here is the Tomahawk Missile himself, Vinndogg Radio.
Woo! 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 Welcome to the Kennel with myself, Vinndogg Radio. This is a Money Bin production, and ladies and gentlemen, you can add, like, and subscribe to the podcast right now, right here on Podbean.com. You can download the Podbean app and look for Inside the Kennel right there, and it is loaded and ready to go. You can also add us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and wherever you download podcasts. And we want to thank you in advance for listening to the Kennel. Myself, Vinndogg here, and ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day. We're going to celebrate the life of Rush Limbaugh. He just passed away. He was suffering from lung cancer. As you know, that the people in the left-wing media are actually celebrating this man's death. They're dancing on his grave. But there was a side of Rush that people really don't talk about, and it was his humorous side. And Rush liked laughing. And I'm going to play some pieces of Rush Limbaugh's funniest moments. Are you guys ready for this?
Most Americans are working longer days and earning third world wages.
Third world wages? And by the way, Mr. Gephardt, can I say something? There is, I'm going to get real close here so you can't mistake me. There is nothing stealth about our attempt to defeat you guys. It's right out in the open and as big as in your face as I am right now. You remember what I said, Harry S. Truman? The buck stops here. Bill Clinton, the buck never got here. All right, we're up to E. Anybody want to take a stab just off the top of your head? What do you think? Somebody said elders wishful thinking. Be patient, ladies and gentlemen. Be patient. E stands for those people out there who are protecting you from yourself. For them, our planet is the property and habitat of every living thing except for one. Mankind, you. Yes, friends, E is for the environmentalist wackos. We'd like to show you some video of people for the ethical treatment of animals, which is part of the environmental movement, protesting something in Washington at the White House. Take a look at this video. I think you'll enjoy it. That's a beaver, folks. Idiots.
Touch it, you're breaking it.
Oh my.
Don't touch it, you're breaking the beaver. Let go.
I, of course, love to tweak environmentalists because the best thing about trees is when you cut them down. The most beautiful thing about a tree is what you do with it when you kill it. When you just chop it down. You turn them into baseball bats. You turn them into pianos. Or you decorate them for the holiday season. And to tweak, it's just a crop. You know, it's not as though we're cutting something down that's never going to come back again. It's just a crop. It's like corn or whatever. Just in some cases, it takes 40 years for this thing to come back again. But it's a renewable resource. So don't feel sorry for the trees. I mean, it's not like they have hearts and brains or anything. It's not like they watch this show and hearing me say this and are out there getting scared. Let me show you something. See this? This is a fine alligator. You animal rights people, I hope you love this. This used to be a slimy, greasy reptile known as an alligator. And you know what it now houses? Fine tobacco. You know that the jungle is what they now call the rainforest. But it's a jungle. You can't say jungle anymore because jungle has overtones of third worldism. You can't say it. It's almost a racist thing to say jungle. It's a jungle. I mean, they don't sit there and say, boy, it's a rainforest out there. Now, I know many of you are probably seeing me and some of these things for the first time. And you're probably a little bit surprised. You thought I was something other than what you see portrayed here. The truth be known, I am just a harmless, lovable little fuzzball. I mean, yes, it's absolutely true. But there are a bunch of people who would love to have you think that I'm a mean, ornery, myopic sexist. What do you mean, yeah? Who let the liberals in here? We're not into diversity on this tape. I have separated them here into their own special group, ladies and gentlemen. These people I'm talking about. F is for feminists.
I think that we ought to stop for a minute and talk about what feminism is, because I keep hearing from the media that feminism is the new F word. We have several possible definitions to choose from. We could go with Pat Robertson. How many of you can recite his definition with me? During the campaign for the Equal Rights Amendment to the Iowa Constitution, he sent out a fundraising letter, and he said that the Equal Rights Amendment had nothing to do with a movement for equality.
What?
It had to do with teaching women to kill their children, leave their husbands, practice witchcraft, destroy capitalism, and become lesbians.
Sheesh.
4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Now, there is a young feminist, an angry, bored, nothing better to do feminist who is reflecting the views of modern militant feminism. She's on campus at UC Santa Cruz. She's supposed to be getting an education. She's supposed to be concerned about what she doesn't know. She's an ignoramus. She's trying to become educated. Hey, I don't look. When you're an ignoramus, it just means you're ignorant. Doesn't mean you're stupid or dumb. That's to come later. And I think you'll agree with me that this person's not only ignorant but stupid. And she is offended by these signs that show a woman in a skirt on the door to a restroom because she wears pants. We thought that we, ladies and gentlemen, would get into the business of suggesting possible solutions to solve this crisis. Let's see the normal doors, and there they are. First, how about this? Try this. This is our second alternative.
Oh, no.
I have said once, if not once, many times, I've said, I love the women's movement, especially when walking behind it. It's clever, it's funny, and it's harmless. Take that!
Ladies and gentlemen, Rush Limbaugh was a class act. A lot of those things people would hear him say right nowadays would be very, very offensive. I don't think it's offensive. I think it was awesome. And it was great to see Rush Limbaugh have a 32-year career in broadcasting excellence. And I just remember a time in my life, and I was in my early years of high school, and my dad says, you know what, Vinny, I want to take you to meet Rush Limbaugh. I'm like, what? Rush Limbaugh? Who's that? There was a luncheon in a place where I can't mention, but it was awesome. And I met Mr. Rush Limbaugh. It was a wonderful, wonderful meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know that Rush Limbaugh was a very quiet man off the air. He said very little off the air, but boy, when he was on the air, forget about it. It was go time when that mic turned on. His golden mic was lit up, man. It was ready to fire off anything into the radio world that you needed to hear from Rush. He made it possible for conservative people like myself to do what I'm doing right now. Now, if you want to talk about an innovator to podcasting, Rush Limbaugh was that. Now, should he be on the Mount Rushmore of radio? Abso-freaking-lutely. Rush Limbaugh, Paul Harvey, Bob Hope. That's a Mount Rushmore ready to be built. I never really got why people would say the things that they say about this man. And I bet you most of the people who say these negative things about Rush have never even listened to 1 hour of his radio show. He absolutely, truly loved America. And he loved the people of America. And people says, well, he said this and about that person, about this race and about that race. Okay, which one of yous haven't said anything about anyone's people group? I'm pretty sure that a lot of you people on the left are undercover racist. If you love what is good in America, you would love to have listened to Rush Limbaugh on the radio, ladies and gentlemen. Rush Limbaugh was a class act when it came to broadcasting excellence. And people would say, hey, Rush, what are you going to talk about on the show today? He says, well, I don't know. And that's radio for you. We don't know what we're going to talk about before we crack a microphone. Rush Limbaugh will forever live in our hearts. We thank him and we love him. And thank you, Mrs. Catherine Limbaugh, for sharing your husband with us. He surely had a huge impact on our lives. He saved radio, ladies and gentlemen, whether you know it or not, because radio was on the brink before he came into the business. So we want to thank Rush, and we want to tell him that we love him, and I'm so happy to know that he had a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, turn to Jesus, because he is the way, the truth, and the life. And the only way to get to the Father in heaven is through Jesus. I know Rush is there with the Lord. In a twinkling of an eye, he is in heaven. We will see you there one day, Rush. And what a reunion it's going to be. We're going to be able to feast with you. You have no more tears, no more pain, no more sorrow, no more fighting with people in this world. Well, it is our turn to step up, ladies and gentlemen. This man built the platform for us. Now it is time for us to finish the job. To the entire Limbaugh family, we are going to finish the job as conservatives in broadcasting. We love you and we thank you. And here's a toast to the greatest to ever touch the microphone and to broadcast to 27 million people a week. And that's just a small number. It's probably bigger. Mr. Rush Limbaugh. And we will see you back in eternal life. This is The Kennel right here on Podbean.com. A Money Bin production with Vinndogg Radio. You frickin' cockroach! Back in a minute.
More with the street shooter himself right after this. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Vinndogg Radio. He shoots straight from the hip, and if you don't like it, go and stuff yourselves. Back to the kennel with Mr. Keeping It Real himself, Vinndogg Radio.
Welcome back to the second half of The Kennel with myself, Vinndogg Radio, a Money Bin production. You can add and subscribe to us on the YouTube channel at Money Bin Productions with a Z, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Money Bin Productions with a Z. And don't forget, you can follow me on Parler, Twitter, and Instagram at Vinndogg Radio USA. That is Vinndogg Radio USA, all day, every day. And please add, like, and subscribe to the podcast. Download the Podbean app right now. And please like and subscribe to the podcast on Podbean. Is entitled Inside the Kennel. You can look for the Kennel on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Yes, indeed, it keeps on going strong on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcast, and wherever you download podcasts, ladies and gentlemen. And please like the YouTube channel at Money Bin Productions with a Z, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of productions. All right, so let's get into what we want to talk about. There was a kid, he was 12 years of age, and he shot an intruder that shot his grandmother. That's right, in a house. Isn't that cool? Don't mess with grandma, said the youngster. Don't mess with grandma. And see, let me tell you, the Second Amendment is one of the most important amendments in the world. That's right. Because the Second Amendment protects the First. And you guys want to have some fun with the Second Amendment? You guys want to have some fun with Joe Biden's press secretary? So, Secretary Psaki is her name. We're going to call her Psaki Bomb. She is going to answer some questions for us, and I just want to see what she's going to say, all right? Because sometimes she likes to circle back. So, Miss Psaki, what would you say if I told you that your president wants to destroy the Second Amendment, he wants to destroy jobs, he wants to destroy America? Can you answer those questions for me right now?
I'll circle back if there's more I can share with you, but I'll circle back with you if there's more to convey. I'll have to just circle back with you. We can circle back with I'm happy to circle back with you. I can circle back. I will have to circle back on that one. That's an excellent question. Oh, such an important question. We will circle back with you, and we'll circle back with you. It's an interesting question, but we'll circle back. I'm happy to circle back, but I'll have to circle back with you on it. It's a good question, but we'll circle back with you on this today. We will certainly circle back with you more directly. I hate to disappoint you, but I will have to circle back with you on...
You mean to tell me this lady's not prepared like Kayleigh McEnany was when the media came at her sideways? Wow, that's crazy. So she'll have to circle back to her answers. But boy, oh boy, when it comes to the National Rifle Association, she sure does know how to jump in on that. They want to destroy the Second Amendment. That's the Democrat way, ladies and gentlemen. Destroy the Second Amendment and destroy America. So, Psaki, can you answer me this without drinking a Psaki bomb? What about the Second Amendment?
As vice president, and even before that, the president took on the NRA twice and won. This is an issue he is personally committed to. Many in this building are personally committed to.
Wait a minute, he's committed to it and he owns guns himself. And I'm pretty sure some of your people in the White House own guns too. But no, you want to take away the guns from Americans. Huh? Wow.
And, I think he would love to see action.
I'm sure he would love to see action. Do you know what this is called, ladies and gentlemen? This is called tyranny, control. That is what they want to do. Control you, control me, control everything that happens in America. Joseph Robinette Biden is not a true American. He is a Chinese operative, calling himself the president of the United States of America. The only way that Joe Biden and the Democrats want unity is if you yield and bend that knee to what they say. That's their unity, folks. You think they care about conservative values? Absolutely not. And at least conservatives have the heart to even say, you know what? I want to listen to what the libbies have to say. And by the way, I said the word libbies, but they say liberals, Democrats, uber leftist, extremist, because that's what they are. Joseph Robinette Biden is an extremist. Let me tell you what this senile bat from hell said about the NRA.
Won't stop until we beat the NRA. And it will not stop until we ban killer assault weapons, until we hold gun manufacturers liable.
Wow, so he wants to hold gun manufacturers liable. Do you know what that says? Joe Biden wants to be a dictator, like his son, or shall I say, smoky nephew, Barack Insane Obama. The governor of Tennessee, he reached down and he grabbed a bigger pear and he did this. Listen.
And now more than ever, Tennesseans want a strong commitment to the Second Amendment and the right to protect themselves. And as such, I will again be reintroducing constitutional carry legislation.
That's right, brother. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Praise the Lord for a governor that can reach down and grab a bigger pear and say, you know what? This is wrong. Constitutional carry needs to be implemented because he knows what's going on in Washington. If you live in a blue state, or shall I say a purple state, you're in deep trouble. That is why California needs to go red again. Because these people don't care about your rights. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. There are some folks out there that say, well, these people do care about us. They care about the environment. Why do you think they're trying to implement so many things to protect the environment? That's all I hear from these libtards. I am on the brink of saying this. I don't believe anything that comes out of a Democrat's mouth. Nancy Pelosi is the most vile, racist lady on the planet. She hates you if you're not a part of her party. She hates you if you don't go through with the phony impeachment that they were trying to pull off. And those 7 Republicans, show your faces to the public that voted for the impeachment and you knew it was unconstitutional. Mitt Romney, I know you're one of them, bud. Was Susan Collins in on that too? Was Murkowski on in it too? You guys have no spine. You shouldn't even be a Republican. You shouldn't even be an American. I am sick of the crookedness going on in Washington. Hands down. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think I had about enough of politics for the day. Because all I hear is, oh, well, you know, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Oh, my goodness, I think Vinndogg sounded like me, Mitch Cocaine McConnell. You know what I mean? You know, I'm Cocaine McConnell. I'm Mitch McConnell and I'm a real deep in China. That's why you know that I don't support the President of the United States. I'm Mitch McConnell and I have a problem with my nose. And as you can tell, I'm the turtle in the half shell. Teenage Mitten McConnell Turtle. Mitch McConnell, you are a piece of work, man. You say that you're for America, but you are totally in bed with China, too. You're not even a true conservative. You are a phony. I never even liked Mitch McConnell. My dad's like, oh, give the guy a chance. Mitch is all right, Vinny. No way. Mitch McConnell is a toss-off of a joke. Sometimes I wonder why people vote these guys in. Maybe we should just clear the base pads and put the folks who want to work for the American people in office. Because the job's not getting done. But they can send billions of dollars to countries around the world to support their needs, but they can't support the needs of the American people. You know why they're not supporting the needs of the American people? They're probably laundering that money into other countries and pulling some out for themselves, putting it in their pockets, making themselves and their partners rich and richer off of our backs. Let's get serious, America. And people are probably saying, oh man, you were paying tribute to Rush Limbaugh earlier, and why are you going off like this? Because he would expect me to. I don't pull any punches, buddy. I say it how it is and what's on my mind and heart, and if you don't like it, turn it off and go and stuff yourself into an elevator shaft. I'm going to end this podcast on a good note today. There was a young man that was about 11 or 12 years old, and he's legally blind, and he saw his mom's face for the first time. I want you to hear this story.
12-year-old Christopher Ward has overcome more than his share of obstacles.
He's a joy to be around. He's always happy. He's never complained.
Despite the rare condition with no cure that left him legally blind as a baby, Chris refuses to let anything hold him back. Thanks in part to special tools like his typewriter that he uses to complete all of his school assignments in Braille.
We were always under the impression that he was just going to remain like this the rest of his life.
But then a breakthrough. Hackley learned about eSight glasses, a new product that combines a high-resolution camera with a user's own prescription lenses. A recent demo session proved to be the moment Hackley had been praying for. Chris could see his mom clearly for the first time.
When I looked at her, she was pretty.
But it wouldn't be that simple. The glasses come with a $15,000 price tag.
Whatever it takes to raise the money for it is, from day one, that's what I was determined that I was going to do.
And once the community got wind of it, the donations started pouring in.
The messages that we've gotten on Facebook and emails, and I mean, it's just been amazing.
All to help the little guy with a big personality
Pretty cool glasses, huh?
achieve his dream of sight.
Isn't that awesome? And he said his mom had a beautiful face. God bless that family. God bless people who donated to this young man's cause. Sometimes it brings a little tear to your eye, but it's all right, man. We're going to get through this together. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to another note and let's close out the show. And I want to thank you all for listening to the Kennel Podcast with myself, Vinndogg Radio, a Money Bin production. Yes, indeed. You can add and follow us right now on Parler at Vinndogg Radio USA. Vinndogg Radio USA. Please like and subscribe to the podcast on podbean.com. Download the Podbean app for the Kennel Podcast inside the Kennel on Podbean. And yes, everywhere else it is entitled The Kennel on Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. We are there and wherever you download podcasts. God bless you. God bless the world. God bless America. Take care and love one another. And rest in peace, Mr. Rush Limbaugh. We love you, sir. This is The Kennel right here on podbean.com. You freaking cockroach!